Hello and welcome to Online Marketing with Miss Stewart Riggs. Most of my students call me Miss KSR. That's my initials. I'm excited for us to start this class together. You can see that I have your main page here. I want to do an orientation video with you. It's your weekly or daily announcements. And this is where I will go in and click and add reminders. Maybe some people are getting behind or whatever, but I will add a reminder here. So every time you come into the class, you'll want to check here and see if I've posted anything new. My page may look a little bit different than yours. You will see this is the calendar for the early college, so we can kind of all stay on track. We also have the class calendar, and you click on this tab, and it just looks like a regular calendar. And it has the start of your first 9 weeks here already in there for us. And I'll be adding some other due dates. Already I've got two. Your number 1 and number 2 assignment are already listed right there. So that's how you get to that calendar. And one thing that you may not have that I have is Manage Class. And I have View Analytics. And I can go to this page and I can see each of you, and there's no students in it, but I can see each of you, what pages you've clicked on, how much time you've spent online, which assignments you've done, which assignments you haven't done. And it just kind of helps me keep an idea of what's going on with you in the class. So we have the main page, the weekly announcements. Your first week is short. I know you start January the 3rd, and so your first couple of days, I've just done a course orientation for you. And this will have, of course, this video. It will go right here. But also your first assignment is a scavenger hunt. And you will open the scavenger hunt, and you will answer the questions based on your reading through all the things about our course. You have the course orientation. The Meet Your Teacher, that's me. The Remind app, this is the number one way that I communicate with my students. You do not have to have a smartphone. So you can notice here I have it up on my computer where I open it, and I can text students. They can text me through the Remind app, either on their phone or on the computer. And that way, it's just a safe, nice way for us to text each other back and forth. The course overview is here for you to kind of read and look at. It talks about discussion posts and how important they are, and we'll get to those right down here. Our schedule is here. I'm still working on that. I know it says fall 2018, but that's our schedule. We have 4 units in this class that we will go over. That's quite a lot. Then we have the course expectations. Behavior expectations. Now, just like a face-to-face class, you have to follow the rules of etiquette. Communication is very important. Since I can't see you, I'm not on your campus, then, you've got to communicate with me. And I've put down here some awesome tips for time management and getting organized. How to be organized. There's 6 tips for you there. How to avoid wasting time online. I know that it's tempting to want to open a YouTube or something and watch, or Netflix and watch something while you do your work, but don't let it get you behind. The cool thing about the course expectations for online students, attendance. I don't take attendance, but that also means if you're out sick, you're still held accountable. If I'm out sick, I still have to grade your work. If we have snow days, you still are accountable for your work. Snow days, days like that don't affect us online. So they don't matter to us. So you are held accountable. Now if your power goes off, then that's fine. Let me know. My power went off in the last snow. But just know that those days don't really affect us. Quality and quantity are things that I just really want you to understand. Quantity is discussed above. Quantity is the amount of work, but quality means you add something of substance to the discussion. Your ideas, your perspective, examples from your life or your work or questions. You don't just, you want to add to everything that we do in this class. Grading and feedback. Here is how your grades are. Class discussions. This is number 1. This is the most important. This is how I know you know what's going on. They're 20% of your grade. Practice quizzes. You have these for each of the objectives. You can take them multiple times until you get the grades you want. Classwork and assignments are 15% of your grade. Projects, we have 3 projects, and they're not boring, they're not monotonous, they're really kind of cool, but you can't let them get you behind. And then we have our assessments, our 6 weeks test and the unit test, and any test that can only be taken once is 25% of your grade. You do have a required end-of-course test that is state tested that you cannot get out of, so you're kind of stuck there. Let's look at class discussions. This is a serious matter because this is how I know you're actually understanding the content. I am posting. You want to post usually 5 to 10 sentences. Don't just give your opinion. Back up what you're saying. You must explain in full detail to get full credit. You also must reply to at least 2 classmates in every post. And you can't just say, oh, I don't agree with you. That was a stupid answer, Harry. No, that won't work. You have to explain, I don't agree with you because I feel like this was under product management instead of channel distribution. You have to explain why you feel differently. And here is the actual rubric for these discussions, okay? And this is, like I said, this is our class talk. This is how I know that you're getting the information you need. So this is what you're going to be doing from January 3rd to January 7th. This block right here. Then I just want to show you that how your units will work. So Unit 1, Marketing Foundations. It just, anytime there's some important direction I want you to notice, it'll be in bright red and yellow. And this just says for you to read through this entirety. Okay? And then it tells you where to go next at the bottom, which is the vocabulary. And then we have 1.01. And you will notice that what I have here is, so start at the top of this page, read to the top to the bottom, complete the items in order they are listed. I've attached this table as a file. You can print that off if you want to. It might be helpful for you, okay? And if you'll notice, you will need a notebook for this class. A 3-ring binder is fine because you can print stuff off and just staple it or put it in there. So in your notebook, I want the learning targets, essential questions, and criteria for success. And you can see down here they are. Here's what you have to know for 101. Here is your vocabulary. So I want you to write these in your notebook and use that glossary page. And you can click there and it takes you back to that glossary page. I want you to take notes in your notebook and go through this PowerPoint. Now, can you print the PowerPoint? Yes, I believe you can. And make notes on it, but you need to have it, okay? So you will take notes on the PowerPoint as you go through it. But you need to have that, okay? Now, we have our first assignment, and it's a discussion. And notice it has the online rubric that we looked at a minute ago. And it's a famous quote from Henry Ford. Customers can have any color Model T they want as long as it's black. Wow, can you imagine if we all drove black cars? Well, at one time they did. And they didn't have all the bells and whistles that we have today. They didn't have cup holders or motorized windows or T-tops or whatever you might want to say. So for this discussion, first of all, I would copy the questions you have to answer. I would hit Control-C, and then I would go into the assignment. Notice I have a draft. So I'm going to hit Edit Draft. You can just hit New Post. And this is where I started a post. How are cars marketed today? They are marketed to meet the customer's wants and needs. They come in every color with all types of options. And then I would go on to say, you know, what all the different sizes. They come in different sizes. You know, I could go on and on. And I want to give lots of details on this because remember, this is discussion. It's 20% of your grade. Let's say that you're working in this and you're not done, but you've got to stop. Well, just hit Save Draft. And then you can come back and edit that draft later. And then we have, notice in here on your, it says notebook. If it says notebook, that means it goes in your notebook. Notebook, notebook. And then these down here say assignment, assignment. These are called laps. This is our textbook for this class, basically. And so for this lap, you are going to open this assignment sheet. You'll answer the questions using that book. If you want to print these off, that'll make it easier for you. That's fine. And then you upload it here. Okay? Same thing. Here's our next one. The Big Six. As you read the chapter book, answer the following questions. And then we have our first quiz. And then it tells you to click on the 102 link on the left side of this window. So I hope this gives you a good idea as to what I expect. I can't wait to meet you guys, and I really hope that you're excited about this class. I hope I've went over everything that you need to know. If you have any questions, you can also message me here, but the Remind app is actually quicker. So I'm very excited. Welcome to marketing.